We made it to Friday, and it happens to be August 18th, which is Never Give Up Day. With kids going back to school, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with new schedules, keeping tabs on healthy snacks, extracurricular activities, and then, of course, your own work-life balance. It's a lot. So with that, I want to bring in Dr. Frida Birnbaum, research psychologist and psychotherapist. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Cope. How to cope with the priorities in your life. What is number one factor for your anxiety? And it would not be a bad idea to have your children sit in on this as well. Because, let's face it, stress is around us, anxiety is around us. That's part of life. So we need to accept that things are not perfect. And then from there, from that list of prioritizing, then you have control. And that's where you start.
Dr. Birnbaum, I want to talk about social media and the impact social media is having on our lives, specifically when it comes to creating anxiety and stress for students, for parents. That pressure can be a lot.
Forget about social media. It's already passé. It's harming us. We need to be able to have cues, natural cues, on what's going on in our lives. School is for the students, not the parents anyway. So what is going on with the students? Are they going to evolve socially, academically? That's where our focus needs to be. And so it's good to have small talk. Children always will say, how is school? Fine. You find something to talk about. Because eventually, if you do, then what's going to happen is when the big things come into play, they'll be more comfortable. So confidence is extremely important. Confidence with what they're doing socially, academically, will help them to go ahead and be happier people in the long run.
And I'm so glad you brought up that conversation. I remember my dad always asking my brother and I, well, how was school? And we'd always say, fine. But Dad would dig deeper to try to get something more out of us that would lead to greater conversation.
Yes, absolutely, because children are overwhelmed. They don't even know what's important and what's not. So we need to help them to see that when they're uncomfortable, there's a reason for it. If they're happy, there's a reason for it. We need to connect their feelings with the experiences so they will have the right cues as adults and won't have to go to therapy to people like myself.
So with that, I want to talk about your new book, Dr. Birnbaum. It's called Life Begins at 60. What's the message you want people to know, specifically mothers of all ages watching right now? What do you want them to know?
My message is, people ask me, why not say life begins at any age? But the reality is we have a fear of getting older. I want people to know, women and men, that there's a lot ahead of us that's even more exciting than before. People are not falling apart physically anymore. We're much more confident. We know what it is we want. We don't have to sort things out, and we go after it. So we're giving our families, if we have families, a definition of what a good life is, because we're healthier, hopefully. We're in a better place. So, the age has been blurred. The lines have been blurred to what age is today. People 40, 50, and God forbid, even 60 today are living longer, younger, and having children. So that's a good thing to look forward to, because it's the passion and the energy that you have that defines who you are. Numbers 30 or 60 or 70 does not define you, because you're still that same person. Trust me, you're the person that you always were. So let's not be concerned about stages of our lives. Let's be concerned about life is long enough to get everything in, whether it's a new career, a new relationship, moving to a new location, having a family. We are retiring differently. Retirement should no longer be the right word. We are reinventing ourselves. We're no longer sitting in rocking chairs. Aren't you glad you asked me? But we're going out and scuba diving and doing all that other stuff, whitewater rafting. So we need to define what age is today. Middle age is really peak age. We're at our best. And when we look at it that way, the words are changed, then we look at who we are differently, because society does have to catch up with what age means today.
Oh, that's such great perspective. Age is just a number, and it's just that. It stops right there. It's what you make of it. With that, what tools can parents use to never give up? Today is Never Give Up Day. What tools can they use to never give up?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that life is a continuum of stressors. And so never giving up means being able to focus on the fact that imperfection will always be around us. And that's not a bad thing because it forces you to look and see what needs to be done. If you're calm and you're not stressed, well, in a way you are giving up. You're accepting what's around you. By not accepting what's around you and being a forefronter of yourself, of what it is you need to do, forget about people's approval. Basically, I find the more criticized you are, the better you're doing because it makes people uncomfortable about themselves. So that's what it needs to be. It needs to be a definition, a different definition of not getting up in the morning and seeing what's going to happen, but making things happen to you. You're the one that's the leader. You're the one that's setting the stage. There's nobody in front of you. And there people would be very happy to see that they're getting the okay sign to be who they are as individuals, not who they're supposed to be or who they are told that they're supposed to be.
Dr. Birnbaum, I so much appreciated this conversation. I think we should have you back every Monday to get the troops going here. I love that.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be sure to put all of this information inside this story on our website, clicktohouston.com, and there people can go to connect with you. Thank you, Dr. Birnbaum.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.